Hi, Junior 6, hope that you're doing well. Okay, we've finished the first video about explaining how to write a film review, and we recapped on the layout and so on. Okay, today we're gonna have a revision on the vocabulary items that we studied. And bear in mind that we're gonna tackle 2 units in the exams, units 3 and unit 4. Okay, so before getting into the questions, we're going to start with recapping on the meanings of the individual words that you've studied before. So get a notebook or something so that if you don't know any of these words, you're going to write their meanings quickly, or you can refer to your booklet. So unit 3 here, lesson 1, you have the word adventurous, which means someone who's bold and he's not afraid of taking any risks. Then we have leisure time, which means free time or spare time. Kayak, when you travel in a narrow boat. Iceberg means a large mass of ice that looks like a mountain. Okay. Destination, the place that you're going to. Landscape is a large area of land which you can look across a country. This landscape can include hills, mountains, rivers, and so on. Mountaineering is one of the extreme sports in which you climb a mountain. Scuba diving is a water sport in which you dive underwater. Rival, the person that you're competing with. A spectator is the person who watches a game. A squad, a group of players. Pitch is the area of land on which the players can play football. Adolescent is the period of time in which you are no longer a child. Strenuous is an activity that needs lots of strength. Collision means crash. Breathtaking means impressive or spectacular. Venue is the place in which an event can be held. Forecast, to tell about the future. Construction means building. Sensation is the feeling. Volunteer, the person who is willing to do a kind of work without being paid. Continent is a place larger than countries, and we have different continents. We have Africa, Europe, and so on. Electric means exciting. Highlight, the most important part in a thing, okay, the most important event or the most important object in an event or something. Replica means a copy. Blog is a website. Poll is a survey in which you ask people questions to ask their opinions about a subject. Inspire, to encourage someone and support them. Remote means far away. Performer is the person who performs an action or does an action. Raffle is a kind of competition in which you buy tickets with numbers. And when a number is taken or is chosen, if this is your number, you're the winner. Competitive, when you compete with someone. Spectacles are the glasses that you wear. Then trainer, the person who trains you. Training is the thing itself. Then we have support is the verb, supporter is the noun. Support when I encourage you to do something. Supporter is the person who encourages you to do something. Participate, to take part in something. Participation means the action itself of taking part in an activity. Participant is the person. Keep your fingers crossed. This is an expression which means to wish luck for somebody. Then we have extreme sports, which means risky sports, which includes danger and sometimes death for participants. Risky means dangerous, okay? Spare time is a synonym of leisure time. Bear, to handle something. Enthusiast, the person who is excited about an activity. Border, the line that separates two countries. Designate, to give a formal description for something. Sheer is a slope, okay, or a steep place. You have the expressions in Unit 3, Lesson 3. Give something a miss, which means that you're not going to attend an event. Keen on means interested in. At a loose end means that you have free time. Can't believe my ears is an expression used to express surprise. Give a moral support means to encourage a person. Unit 4, Lesson 1. You have bungee jumping is a kind of extreme sport in which you jump off a place using an elastic rope. A trend means a fashion or a new trend. A new trend means something that is new and people started doing it. A lot of people started doing it. Granary means all the plants that are used in decoration. Swing to move backward and forward. Skyscraper is a tall building. Pollution means the activity of poisoning the environment. While water rafting, this is a kind of water sport, okay, in which you ride a raft. Countryside is the place where you can find farmers, farms, and so on. In the sticks means a remote place, okay? Exhilarating means exciting, surrounding all the areas that surround you. I have here bold is a synonym of adventurous, the first one that we said here. And we have gorge, this is a narrow valley. Plunge into, to fall into water. Hike up means to go for a long distance. Soak, to put something in liquid. Wildlife means all the plants and animals that are in the wild, okay? Then after wildlife, I have unique here means special. Picturesque means impressive. Drawbacks means the negative points about something. Then we have trail. It's a path through the forests. Distraction, something that keeps you away from something. It doesn't help you to concentrate. Facility, all the buildings that we need for our daily activities, such as schools, hospitals, and so on. Encounter, to meet. A company, to go with someone to a place. Emergency, a dangerous situation that needs immediate action. District, an area of land in a city. Region is an area of land as well. Impression means opinion about something. Orchard, this is a kind of tree which gives the fruits. Rural, a place that is related to the countryside. Stunning means fascinating. Boast, about something, to feel proud that you have something and you feel that you're better by some people by having this thing. Urban, a place that is related to the city. Impressive means fascinating. Cautious means careful. Reckless means that you don't feel afraid and you can take risks. Privileged means that you have advantages more than others. Wise, a person who thinks well. Riverboarding, a kind of water sports, okay, in which you lie with your stomach on a board. Timid, someone who feels afraid. Bright means shining. Sufficient means enough. Microlight plane, a kind of small plane. Dull means boring. Tough means hard. Swap, to exchange something. Amateur, someone who's not professional. Moonbow, a kind of rainbow, okay? On a larger scale means widely, happening widely, spreading everywhere. Give a lift, to offer someone to ride in their car or in your car and let him just go to a specific place. Wealth means a lot. Wealth has two meanings. Wealth means fortune, a lot of money, or a wealth of something means a lot of something. Rapids means a section in the river in which water moves fast. Rely on means to depend on. Pros and cons means the negative points and the positive points about something. Bring someone, something into contact to deal with something, communicate with something, and so on. Head and shoulder above means better than. Doom and gloom means a hopeless situation. Ins and outs means all the details about something. Make a lasting impression, to have an impression on you that goes on for a long time. Slow down your pace means to be slower. Okay, tooth and nail means to work so hard. Hustle and bustle, to be noisy. Go with the flow, to do what others are doing. Sit still means not to move. Peace and quiet means quietness. Then Unit 4, Lesson 2, residential area, an area in which you can find houses rather than factories. Resident is the person who lives in a place. A suburb is a place in the city but on the edge. Okay, so it's not in the center of the city, it's on the edge. Ordinary means usual. Neighbor, the person who lives next door or lives near you. Wild means not raised by people. Okay, it's raised in the natural area. Zoological, related to animals. Botanical garden, related to plants. Native means you're related to the place that you're born in. Migrate means to move from one place to another. Habitat, the natural place in which a plant or an animal lives. A captivity means not free. Endangered means you are in danger. The animal is in danger. Okay. Species means all the plants, all the different kinds of plants and animals. Destruction means damage. Conservation means protection. Instruct means to teach. Community, all the group of people who live in a place. Delicate means easily hurt or damaged. Appreciate, to be grateful for someone or something. Value, a synonym of importance. Policy means a plan of action. City landscape, all what you can see across an area of land such as hills, rivers, and mountains. Adventure playground, a public place where children can play. Bicycle lane, a part on the road which is designed for bicycles to move. Inner city, the central part of a city. Community center, a place where the members of community can meet in order to discuss their problems. Theater, it's written incorrectly. It's a theater, okay? Theatre. A place like a cinema, okay, or for people to watch plays. Public library, this is a place where you can go to borrow books and read. So let's start by answering the vocabulary question. Before we answer the vocabulary question, I have to read the rubric very well. Then I have to ask myself about the meaning of each individual word. And there will be a clue in each sentence that will guide you to the right choice. So, for example, number one, wise people make use of their in doing useful activities, of their volunteer, of their spectacular, so of their glasses, of their person who does a job without getting money. So it should be of their leisure time, make use of their free time. If I'm not sure of the answer, put the meaning of the word in the sentence and ask yourself, does it make sense or not? Who will space you to the airport? Plunge into means to fall into a place, forecast to tell about the future. Accompany means to go with someone somewhere, so it should be a company. Then we had the time of our life when we were in the party and the atmosphere was really okay. So we had the time of our life, which means that we enjoyed our time. So it can't be disappointing, it can't be miserable. So it should be electric, which means interesting. You have to be what while using the fire extinguisher. So I'm using the fire extinguisher to put out the fire. So I have to be reckless, you're not afraid of danger, or adventurous, you're bold, or cautious, careful. So it should be cautious. Space about your parents doesn't prove you're a successful person. I cannot say instructing about your parents because instruct means teaching. I cannot say appreciating about your parents because appreciating isn't followed by about. So the right choice is boasting, which means that you feel proud about your parents. We were what? To be brought up by well-educated parents. We were delicate, easily hurt, or we were urban, related to the cities. It should be we were privileged, which means that you feel that you have advantages that the others don't have. The natural what of the camel is the desert. I have conservation, which means protection, and city landscape. It should be habitat, because habitat means the natural place for an animal to live in. She was what? When she first joined us and didn't want to interact with people, but then she got along with us. So she was impressive, but how come? And the rest of the sentence says she didn't want to interact with people, to communicate with people. So impressive and unique are out. It should be timid. Titanic sank after hitting an iceberg, okay? Because it can't hit construction, which means building. It can't hit a trail, which means a path, a road, okay? The city what was? The city landscape. I cannot say the city squad, a group of players. I cannot say the city raffle competition. It's the city landscape was what at sunset was breathtaking, because you know that the view at sunset is breathtaking. Okay, it's impressive. We went on a trip and mom prepared what sandwiches for us? Sufficient, because it means uh, enough sandwiches for us. Um, what is a place related to the countryside? So it should be rural, while urban places are related to the cities. What is an area of a town or country on its edge? Once he said edge, so it's suburb. We meet every week at the what to discuss the problems of our community and think of some solutions. We meet every week at the community center. Okay, I'm so tired today. I'm thinking of giving my friend's party a miss, which means that you won't attend the party. Okay, why didn't I say give a lift? Because I can't give a lift to the party. Give a lift means that you let someone ride in your car. Wild animals shouldn't be kept in captivity, which means imprisonment. Okay, they're not free. If you know the what of time, you won't waste a second if you know the value, the importance of time. I cannot say the drawback of time, the negative points, okay, or the policy, a plan of action. The highlight of the day was spending nice time with my family after being away from them for a long time. A highlight of an event, which means the most interesting part. You have to be what in case you want to do any extreme sport. So you have to be bold because they're extremely risky, dangerous. Won a prize through a raffle competition, because this is the kind of competition in which you win a prize. Relaxing at home was a pleasant sensation, feeling, experience. Environmentalists have to work hard to protect the endangered species, the kind of animals or plants that are endangered. Remote districts are very poor in facilities. Okay, parents shouldn't allow their children to use mobile phones because it's a real distraction, because the mobile phones represent the things that can take you away from concentration. Okay, they distract your time. Planting greenery can reduce pollution. I cannot say planting impression because impression means opinion. I cannot say planting theater. I hope to live in a quiet residential area, because this is the only word that suits quiet. What lights are associated with the city? Bright lights. Children need to be what on how to respect the others, need to be instructed, because instructed means they have to be taught. Pollution is spreading on a large scale, spreading widely. We're watching a play in the theater tonight. The prisoners were let out yesterday. And number 31, you have a mistake in the revision sheet. Write the three choices out, down, and on. Okay. One of them should be out because out is not one of the choices that you have. You really let me down. I'm disappointed. Don't let on about this secret meeting, which means don't disclose it, don't reveal it to anybody. How many participants will take part in the quiz? I can see well. Where are my spectacles? Okay, glasses. So, as I told you, you have to read the rubric very well. Then you have to read all the choices that you have, and then ask yourself about the meaning of each individual word. Take your time and don't be in a hurry. The second question, complete the following sentences with a suitable word from below. When I answer this question, Junior 6, I have to be 100% sure of the word that I chose. If I'm not sure, leave it till the end. And the word that you're sure of and you put in the space after you put it in the gap, cross it out from the ones that you have in the box. What's what? I'm going to Paris. So the place that you're going to, what's your destination? Could you turn down the music? I need some. So the music is very high, it's very loud. So I need some concentration. I need to focus. Football is the most popular sport among the adolescents, okay? The young people. One of what of fast food is gaining a lot of weight, one of the drawbacks, which means negative points. Is it really true? I can't believe my ears. Call the ambulance. We have an emergency, which means a dangerous situation which needs an action. People are facing troubles in this region because there are no sufficient emergency services. They're not enough. She used to live in the countryside, so she isn't used to the bright lights, okay, the things that are related to the city. He's dependent. He relies on his parents, which means depends on. I'm really proud of you because you were working tooth and nail, which means working so hard. I like rural life. It's picturesque, amazing, impressive, stunning, spectacular. It's a what location? We need to go by car. It's a remote, which means far away. They live in the sticks away from the bright lights, which means they live far away. She soaked the t-shirt in cold water, so which means that she put it in the liquid, in the water. We were amazed by the portrait. It was spectacular, impressive. The spectators usually support their team, encourage their team. Try to come up with some innovative, which means new ideas, instead of thinking of conventional ones, old ones. There are always borders between countries and they separate between them. He was one of the volunteers, okay, to clean the city. Online learning has some pros and cons, which means negative points and positive points. The film was so dull, I didn't enjoy it because dull means boring. When children make noise, they cause distraction, okay, which means you're not able to concentrate. Do you like to swap your pen with mine to exchange? Earthquakes and floods cause destruction, damage to many cities. The peace and quiet means the quietness and the peacefulness of the countryside makes me relaxed, while the hustle and bustle, which means the noisiness. Okay, and then we have here the missing word, the missing letters in each word. So we walked through a long trail, which means here a long path or road. So the AA are missing. AI. Would you like to participate in the competition? So the missing letters I and P. You're a replica of your brother. So E and I. This work needs strenuous effort. So he's an amateurish, which means he's not professional. And the missing letters are M and R. There is a wealth of activities that you can do. The missing letters are E and A. So the rest you can see, okay, are there. The missing letters are in red. Then the following question, we have to put the right expression in the gap. What today? I have nothing to do. Once you have nothing to do, So you are at a loose end, you're free. Listening to my dad's motivating words made a lasting impression on me. Traveling by plane is a head and shoulders, which means better than. I'm not free today, so I'll give this appointment a miss, which means you won't attend it. When you give weak students some moral support, you encourage them, they improve. Thank you so much. That was for today's revision, the vocabulary part. Please study the vocabulary very well and know their meanings. You have to know their meanings very well before you answer, because knowing the meaning will help you answer easily.